What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the NECA San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Batman vs. the Predator. Here we do have Batman and the Predator in the packaging. What we're going to do now is take a little break, get these two opened up, and then we'll have a better look at the figures inside. So stay tuned, everyone. And so here we have Batman and the Predator posed and out of the packaging. Before we have a look at the figures, let's actually take a look at their accessories. We'll have a look at Batman's accessories first. He does come with the visor that he has on him right now. It is removable, so if you want to have him without it, you can. Batman also does come with two right hands. He comes with one fist, and then he also does come with a grasping hand. He comes with a baseball bat with some Predator blood on it, and then he also does come with a little pistol. Other than that, Batman doesn't really come with anything else, so let's move him back off to the side. And let's have a look at what the Predator comes with. The Predator does come with more accessories. Predator here does come with two different head sculpts. He comes with a head that has the mask on him, which looks really good. He comes with an unmasked head, which, again, the colors on it look really, really nice. He does come with a combi stick, which he can hold in any of his grasping hands. He comes with a smart disc, which can fit into his grasping hand for the smart disc. We also do get two pairs of hands for the Predator. We get a pair of grasping hands. And then we also do get a pair of relaxed grip hands, which can be used for holding the smart disc. His final accessory is the plasma caster, which looks really good on him. And it is an amalgamation of the City Hunter and Jungle Hunter Predator, which looks really good. I am really glad that they did include that with this Predator. But other than that, that's all the accessories that this set comes with it, which is a pretty fair amount. So what we're going to do now is have a closer look at each figure. And so here we have a closer look at the Predator, and this is actually a figure that we have seen in the past before. NECA was able to utilize parts from several other Predator figures to make this figure. He is wearing the classic helmet from the Jungle Hunter Predator, which looks really good. I really do love how the eyes just pierce through the really dark gunmetal gray which they went with on this Predator. Looks really, really good. I do like that. You can see he does have his laser sight right here. The eyes are done in this really nice yellow. It would be nice if the eyes were glow in the dark, which unfortunately they're not. That's just something NECA could have done just to give this a little more bang for your buck. You can see he is done exceptionally well. And surprisingly, the pred locks on this guy are actually done in a really dark gray. They're not black like we traditionally see. And then we also do get this lighter blue that we have going along his dreadlocks, as you can see. Not a color we normally see with Predators, which I am actually surprised that they did go with this color. And it looks really, really nice. I do like that. Moving on to his torso, which you can see he is using the main torso of the Jungle Hunter Predator. You can tell just by this piece of armor. It has a little tube running from his chest all the way to his arm, which is done really well, and you can see he has the exact same armor plate as the City Hunter Predator. Well, Jungle Hunter Predator, my bad. Now, he also does have the pauldron from the City Hunter Predator. This piece does originate from the City Hunter Predator, as well as this shoulder piece. So he does have the pauldron from the City Hunter Predator. You can see this arm is bare, and it does have his wrist blades on it, which do extend out, so that's pretty good. You can see right now he is sporting his grasping hands. On this side we do have his other pauldron going down to his bicep guard. We have his little control panel right here, which unfortunately has no detailing in it. There's no little light-ups display on it, which is a little bit unfortunate. I would have liked to see something in there. You can see he does have the trophies drenched around him with all the different little skulls, done exceptionally well. I also love his armor. It's done in a, I don't know how they actually did it, because it's actually iridescent. From some angles it looks like it's a green, some angles looks like a purple, it's a bluish, it's a gunmetal. They actually did a really good job with his armor. And then of course you can see he does have the netted body, which is normal for Predator figures. You can see he has some pouches right here on the side. You can see this piece is a floating belt piece, so that isn't going to get in the way. He does have the lower crotch piece of the Jungle Hunter Predator. And I want to say that these are also part of the Jungle Hunter Predator, although his calves are obviously the City Hunter because they actually do have the spot for his net launcher. You can see the smart disc can go on the side right here, so if you do squeeze it in, it does fit there. Again, just love the coloring on this armor. It's an iridescent. There's greens, there's bronze, there's some purples, some blues. It just depends on how the light catches it. So that's really, really good there. You can see the Predator here also does have really big feet, so I do like that. Makes him really easy to stand. So other than that, still a really good figure. NECA was able to combine so many different parts to give us a unique looking figure. What we're going to do now is actually take a look at Batman. And so here we have a closer look at Batman, and NECA did a phenomenal job of capturing Batman from the DC versus Dark Horse comics. You can see right now I do have the visor on Batman, which it is removable. If you want to have Batman wearing it, you can. Underneath we do have a fully sculpted head, which looks amazing. I almost kind of wish that NECA gave us the standard Batman before they gave us the armored Batman, but it's still a really nice look. You can see his eyes are sculpted in there really nicely. He has a scowl on his face, which is done really well. I do love the way it looks. You can see his helmet does keep the ears and keeps the basic shape of Batman. If you want to fill it out, you can of course put the visor on, and it gives you a more flushed out look. Almost makes him look like RoboCop or Judge Dredd. Do you guys see Karl Urban in that? Because I honestly do. And it's done in this really nice metallic slate color right here. You can see it has some detailing right there. Panel lining is painted exceptionally well, and I wouldn't expect anything less from NECA. So if we just take his panel off, this neck piece is a separate appliance. It's not sculpted to the torso, although it kind of does look like Batman's wearing a gold chain, doesn't it? Like if it was just like that, it looks like Batman sporting some gold bling. I know that's just me. Really do love the armor on Batman, and you can take it off. It's only attached with a couple of pegs right here at the top and then two on the sides. I'm not going to take it off just because there's a chance that you can break those pegs, but he does have a sculpted torso underneath it. Unfortunately, no bat signal nor bat emblem on it, which is a little bit of a shame. Looking at his armor, it's actually done in this really nice silver color. You can see he had some battle damage right here. Looks like he got hit by a plasma bolt. You can see some scratches right here. On this side, you can see he has a little scratch on his shoulder, and the battle damage is done really, really well. NECA did a really good job with it. Just the detailing on Batman's armor is really nice, and they even went as far to sculpt the back of it. I don't know if the back should have more color, but it's still a really nice sculpt. Going on to the arm right here, you can see they did a really good job with that. And something I do like is that he has a cloth cape, and not too many Batman figures give us cloth capes, and one thing I do like about this is that it's a light enough material that it's not going to weigh the figure down, but at the same time it's not too heavy that you can't drape it around his shoulders, which again, that's just a really good look for any Batman. You can of course just drape the helmet or drape the cape to the back if that's how you want. And then we'll get into probably my biggest issue with the armor, but let's continue on. You can see he does have the standard bat suit going here. We do have the gauntlets that he is sporting with this really nice wrist blade, and I don't know if you can see that, but you can actually see the little Batman blades underneath there too, so really do like that. You can see his fist is all armored up, ready to fight the Predator. Whenever Batman needs to, he'll just armor himself up to meet whatever threat he needs to face, and that's just the way Batman is. Same sculpt on both sides, except they do mirror each other, so I do like that. And these are removable. If you want to take them off, you can. I wouldn't recommend it because we don't get a Batman without armor just yet. Give it time and we will. He has this really big utility belt, which you can see. Also has the codpiece, goes all the way to the back, which looks really good. They did a good job with some dry brushing in that. You can see some blacks in the gold, as well as some reds, which brings out a lot of detailing in Batman's armor. You can see he is sporting some trunks underneath the codpiece and the belt, which I do like the fact that that's a soft rubber. Now, the biggest issue I have with this figure, besides some quality control, his thigh guards. They come off way too easy. They're really nicely sculpted, don't get me wrong, and they fit on the figure pretty good, but they come off way too easy, and I really wish that they had either sculpted these on or glued them on, because that is just a lot of hassle. Now, in the comic, Batman's undersuit looked like this. He actually was armored up all the way. The thigh guards weren't a thing. So, I don't know, I think it's just that NECA wanted to reuse this body mold, get the most out of it with the 4 figures that they're releasing. But I would have liked to see a more dedicated sculpt to Batman where it kept the armor from the comic, where he was armored up. His undersuit was actually armor, not the standard bat suit. But overall, still a really good job on the armor pieces. We'll just go ahead and take those off for right now. His shin guards are done in the same color as his wrist blades and his cowl, so I do like that. You can see it keeps that motif and those designs going throughout. You can assume that these on the back are probably the buckles, keeping the 2 pieces together. And then, of course, his boots are really nicely sculpted and really well detailed. So overall, Batman here is sporting a lot of nice detail. Although some of the pieces are loose appliances, I'm perfectly okay with that, especially because he still looks like a really good figure. So what we're going to do now is actually get Batman and Predator compared to a few other figures you may have in your collection. So here we have Batman posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Batman posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Batman posed next to a DC Universe Classics Batman and the DC Essentials Batman. Here we have the Predator posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have the Predator posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. And finally, here we have the Predator posed next to the Jungle Hunter Predator and the City Hunter Predator. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to their articulation. And we'll start with the Predator here. Let's actually move Batman off to the side. The Predator here does come with your standard NECA Predator articulation. We do have a ball joint in the head, which does let him look up. And if you do push it too far, you will pop his head off. So I accidentally popped the head off mine. Let's actually just get that head back on. So he can look straight. He can look down a fair bit. He can tilt his head side to side, as well as rotate at that ball joint. His arms are a little bit hindered. This arm only goes up to about here before the wire here tries to snag, and you don't really want that ripping on you. This arm is hindered by the pauldron a little bit, but it does go all the way up and all the way back. The outward movement, again, is going to be hindered just because of the pauldrons. On the left arm, it does go out to about that far, which is pretty good. On the right side, it only goes out about that far, and that's just because all this armor he has bulking up in that area, and you really can't get to the joint. He does have a bicep swivel, which works really good. Double bend in the elbows works really good. We have a swivel in the gauntlet. His wrist blades do extend outward. We have a hinge and swivel at the wrist. We have a ball joint in the torso, which does go back about that far, goes forward, rotates side to side, as well as leans side to side. We do have a secondary ball joint at the waist, which does rotate, does lean side to side as well, goes back with both those joints, goes that far, both of them going forward to about that far. Legs do kick out to about that far. They go back all the way go out. They would do the split, but you can see it is hindered by the armor plating. We have a thigh swivel, double jointed in the knee, works no problem. We have no swivel at the calf, but we do have a swivel at the foot, which is on a really nice ball joint. Does rock to the side pretty well, goes forward and back, surprising amount of distance. So Predator here has exceptional articulation, especially for a bulky figure. Now let's actually move on to Batman's articulation. Batman does have a double ball joint in the head, so he can actually look up about that far. He can look down a surprising amount, and this is what I'm talking about by having a double ball joint. That's a really good piece of articulation, and his thigh guards just fell off again. His arms are hindered by the armor. They do go out all the way to the side, which works really good. They do go forward to about there, and that's when they start catching the armor. They go back about that far, and then we start catching the armor here. Now, Batman does have bicep swivel, but on mine, both of them are frozen solid, and they feel really, really gummy. I have tried heating them up, and that didn't loosen them. And I'm really worried I'm going to stress that joint out. So yours might not have that issue. Mine just has his biceps locked for some reason. It is a little bit unfortunate, but he would have bicep swivel. I do plan on trying to get that articulation free. We do have a double bend in the elbow, but because his armor is so bulky, that's about as high up as you're going to get. We don't have rotation in the gauntlet, but we do have a rotation here at the hand, as well as in and out movement, although it's mainly going to be inward movement because we are hindered by this big piece of armor. He does have an ab crunch, which goes back only to about that far, comes forward to about that far. He does have rotation at the waist. Legs do kick forward to about there. They go out to the side. We have rotation at the thigh, double bend in the knee, although it is a little bit stiff on that side. Let's see. Better on this side so you can see that double joint in action. Batman should have swivel here at the at the calf, but just like with the bicep, that joint is frozen, and I have tried heating both of them up to get them to rotate, but I haven't had any luck. Which, if you try to line his knees up, you can see exactly how far this leg is pointing inward. I will try to get that loose, but as it turns out right now, I just can't get it to move. He does have a hinge in the ankle, which goes back only to about that far. Goes forward only to about that far because his armor is getting in the way. We do have a rocker ankle, which works pretty good. And then we do have toe articulation. So overall, really good set. I really like the articulation on both of them, although my Batman does suffer from quality control issues. Other than that, I still think this is a really nice set. So what we're going to do now is actually get them posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have Batman and the Predator posed for my final thoughts. Overall, I really love the way this set came out. Batman is a phenomenal figure. Despite the fact not being 100% comic book accurate, he is still a really nice figure. Predator here is a really good figure. Despite the fact he's made of parts that we've seen before, there's enough here to make him different from all the other Predators in your collection. Now, if you are looking for this set, this set was available at Comic-Con for $60, or on the NECA store during their Comic-Con sale, along with the Superman and Alien set for $120, that's where I got mine. I unfortunately wasn't able to attend Comic-Con, but I was lucky enough to pick these guys up from the NECA Comic-Con sale. These guys did ship about a week after the con, which is pretty average for NECA, and I still think there's enough here to warrant the pickup. Although my Batman does suffer from quality control issues, I feel the only weakness on him are those thigh guards. They come off way too easy just for touching the figure. It almost feels like looking at the figure those thigh guards come off. And Predator here is, of course, another welcomed addition to your collection if you're a fan of Predator. If you want to pick up this set, I have seen it going anywhere from $120 all the way up to $150. And that price is only going to jump up as time goes by. If you're lucky enough to get this set for a really good price, I really recommend you pick it up, especially if you're a Predator fan and a Batman fan. This is a really nice set to own. And if you are lucky enough to pick it up, I say display it without the box because there's so much you can do with these two out of the box. It was a really strong decision for me to get these guys out of the box. With that being said, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other NECA videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. And while you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.